Hello and welcome back to the Swag Shack. We've moved on to a new entry. This one was built and designed by Beautiful Monday, and this is for the Looping Coaster Contest. So we're going to spend this episode looking over the entry and going through what we might be able to improve upon, as well as understanding the theme and sort of the build style of Beautiful for this entry. So it is a looping coaster. There's a couple other rides. Looks like a little dinghy slide, water slide. We've got a horse ride. There is a story. So let me read the story. Zoom in a little bit. The story says, I took some inspiration from your Diamond Heights But Beautiful, which is Dirklink's video, as well as Jens J and Major Cravings Canary Mines from your Scenario Coaster Improvement Contest. Best wishes. So we're looking at this, and it's like a mine town. What are the coasters' names? That coaster's called Catwalk. Oh, agoraphobia and claustrophobia. Okay, so this is like a remake of the coasters from the original Diamond Heights. Is it Diamond Heights? From Roller Coaster 1, I believe. So that makes more sense. My first comment, just from looking at this from a review standpoint, is the structures are massive and a little odd with how many layers are overlapping and colors, and I'm not a huge fan of that. The pathing is a little gridlocked, so dealing with that, and they're all kind of on these wood blocks. Now, I understand this is a very boardwalk-esque looking map, but all because you're on a boardwalk doesn't mean it has to be made out of wood, necessarily. We've got these interesting barn-looking buildings in the sides. And this is your entrance plaza. So we've got sort of an entrance. I'm not a huge fan of these bridges. They're diagonal, but they look kind of just like coaster track. And the segmentation's kind of janky. We've got a nice little bridge here. I think this bridge could be improved at the very least. Not sure what this water building is. I'm guessing a restaurant. So we got a circle top restaurant. Got a little, what's this called? Long stuffs? Dang, those are going way too fast. Just shooting people through. That's so funny. Oh, okay, we got a crane with a, is that a chain hanging down? I'm not sure. Visibly, I mean, you'd want that to be sort of a little bit easier to see, I would assume. Is this chain? Craney supports. Gabriel's Gallopers. And then this large building is the station for the coaster. Where's the coaster entrance? Is it just hidden away? Okay, so it's kind of hidden in there. Okay, that might be a way to... I think I'd like to improve upon this building. This is not a natural looking building to me. The coaster layout actually is really good. It duels well. Some of the supports are pretty janky. I'm not a huge fan of the lift hill supports, and I'm not a fan of these arches over the walkways. Now, if there's a reason why there's a red arch and a green arch, not sure. And it looks like just shops and stalls overall. Okay. This scored rather well. I think it scored like an 8.42, got in the top 10 at least for the contest. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to improve this bit by bit and see what happens. It's not a bad entry, so improving this isn't necessarily going to be a huge differences. I say potentially, but we'll find out. So I'm going to I think I'm going to figure out the lift hill first. We're going to figure out how to support this lift hill in a way that doesn't feel so odd. And that'll be the first goal of this video. Before we get into actually building the lift hill, I want to go over a couple things that a lift hill should have in certain coaster types. In this coaster type, we want to have a walkway for escape. So if the cable fails and the coaster trains are locked in place, you're going to need a situation where people can evacuate the trains and walk back safely to the station or to an area on the ground. So while Blue used, looks like multi-dim coaster track as walkway, I think it's lacking railing, like visible railing. Yes, there's kind of tiny little railings on here, so I think that's a big thing. I think it's odd to have these giant towers and cross beams. I know it's supposed to be industrial, so maybe we'll try to do something industrial thematically. But overall, you've got a crane over here. You don't want this to pull away from this crane if this is going to be like a unique identifier as a cool item. So I think railings on the walkway, and I'll have to take inspiration from a real-life coaster. It's not common to see two steel coasters flanking each other. Wooden coasters is a lot more common. I'll try to find some real-life steel coasters. I do not like these Ferris wheels right here. I think the movement's kind of cool, but overall it just kind of seems a little gimmicky. So it looks like we are going to have to do something with towers because it's going over water and then it's going over the coaster itself. So we will figure out how to do that. I think the first thing I need to do is clean it all up and get rid of some of these towers and figure it out from there. So let's do that first. I have looked at a few coasters in real life. There's not a ton of steel coasters that duel, but I'm going to put some of these reference images into the video, potentially. I don't know if I can edit that yet. I'm not that great at this. But you'll see we've got sort of a modern coaster where they're together and we're using sort of cylindrical, just like steel columns with some cross beams creating the triangles of strength. And then for the most part, if the dueling coasters are side by side going up a lift hill, they've each got their own separate walkway on each side. And I can imagine that's because if one coaster breaks down, they don't want to use a staircase that shares both sides. I would imagine also if one side breaks down, they're closing both sides of the coaster just for safety, but who knows? When they're building it, it could be a little different. So for this build, I'm going to do a stairwell on the outside of each coaster, and I think I'm going to do one side white and one side black just to stick with the theme. I think I'll do like gray stairs on both sides, but then like the railing's going to be white and then the other side's going to be white. So that's going to be the plan, and then we'll look at it and build the supports underneath the coaster following that. got basically what bare minimum I need for the evacuation stairs. We got the black side, we've got the white side. We have to do it from 4 different angles. Each side has its own staircase. And then kind of ignore the random supports here and there. Because what's going to happen is we're going to make custom supports underneath all of this. So that's going to do it for this part. And now I'm going to figure out how to do supports for the rest of it. This structure, or these support structures, so far have sort of a too wide... Oh, left a piece up in the sky. They've got sort of 2 pieces of gaps. There's going to be a support here, support here. I'm just trying to look at it in general, if it feels too wide apart. I feel like down here, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But it also might look a little nicer with more going on. I'm not against it. This is me thinking out loud, sorry. Sorry, folks. I feel like if I do too many more, it's going to feel crowded. But I'll save this, and then I'll save an alternative and build the rest. I'm not going to put you through the recording, because you've already seen me sort of build it over the time. So I'll do this, and we'll see after which one we prefer. So this is what we came up with for every 2 support areas. And then this is what it looks like. Oh, let me save this first. That would have been bad. And this is what it looks like with only 1 every other. And I think I like the one with 1 every time. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Now this kind of looks a little cleaner, but I don't know if support-wise it looks like it's strong enough. Potentially if there was cross beams connecting these 2. So one of the reasons I like the 2, or 1 every time, is when you're playing on a map where you're stuck at certain angles, you don't get to tell that easily, I should say, that there's no cross beams, like cross bracers between these. Like everything's vertical and there's nothing connecting any of these verticals to each other. There's these coming across on the perpendicular line, but nothing on the parallel. And I think just because of how busy it is, we can get away with that. Now, I did the, cut in half. So like one side's white, one side's black, just like the rest of the structure is for the coaster. Not sure if I love this a lot, and maybe having one color might look better, but to keep it with the theme, we're going to keep it separate. Or like whatever you call it, opposite of each other. And honestly, if you guys want to give some feedback on this, I think that'd be great. I do need to name everything. Best thing to do if you want to name something and not have it pop up. Oh, name already exists. Escape stairs. Just throw another S in there. And what's that? Lift supports. Escape stairs, lift supports. Okay. So everything's named. I'm digging it. I think it looks okay. So that's it for now. I really do like the supports when it comes to the walkway and the railings for it. This is the after. Let's save. And then the before. So let's make sure we save that. And the before is this one? Yes. So this is what we're working with the before. A lot of texture on the rails coming up. And then just crazy amounts of supports where you kind of lose this crane. Because this is a crane right here holding like a chain. You can kind of see it from this perspective and this perspective, but from the other two you don't see it at all. So when we swap to the newest version, you can see the crane. You can see the crane clearly. More, it's better than last time. What is this, a bridge? Roof covers? Oh, okay, so it's like bringing a roof somewhere. So, I think it's okay. I think it might be able to, like, there might be a way to make it better, honestly. And maybe I'll come back to this later on. But for now, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to be okay with that. So thank you for watching this video of the Swag Shack. We're going to continue working on this in the future. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video.